The obsession with Porsches, it wasn't an old thing that I had since childhood. It was something I developed like 11 years ago. My buddy, Radu, he's a car designer, and so we were talking about cars. And he decided out of the blue that he wanted a 911, and I was kind of like, eh. And then he got this 82 911 SC, and the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that is badass. That is so cool. A couple days later, we go up on Mulholland Drive. He handed me the reins for a little bit. Yeah, I instantly was like, I gotta have one of these. I got obsessed before I even got one. I kind of spent the next 9 months to a year looking for one. I bought my SC. It was perfect. It was like almost bone stock with some minor upgrades. And I saw this car on Pelican. It was a 74 with like Carrera flares, but it had this big turbo motor in it. They had laid out the intercooler underneath the ducktail, and it was very sleeperish. And I was attempting to do that, but it just wasn't working, and my mechanic was sort of fighting with me. And he was actually right, because there just wouldn't be enough air getting to the intercooler. So I said, well, just cut a hole in it, because let's go punk rock, man. Let's just have the intercooler sitting out there, which I thought was the most rock and roll thing ever, and he didn't get it, and he fought me every step of the way. So now there's this giant intercooler sticking out of the tail of a non-intercooled turbo tail, because I like that tail. And now it's a 420 wheel horsepower turbo in a narrow body 911, which some people seem to think is kind of a crazy thing to do, but it's still rock and roll, because that's... I'm a musician, I'm a composer, but I come from metal and rock and roll and trip hop and industrial music and things like that. So I like things with an edge and things that not necessarily other people would do. If there's a more difficult way to do it, I'll probably do it that way. I could have just rebuilt the motor in it and, with some upgrades, and I probably would have been totally happy. But no, I decided, well, I can spend twice as much money and have twice as much power, and then you gotta replace the transmission, you gotta replace everything in the drivetrain, you gotta upgrade the brakes. Basically, the whole underside of the car was replaced because I didn't know when to stop. Slippery slope, as they say. Ironically, musically, I'm more into less, but with the car, I go more. So, I don't know, I'm probably compensating for something. There's no reason to do this. It's not even a phallic contest. It's just, you go fast, and you go faster, and you go faster, and you go like, I have to keep pushing it. Really what changed it was when we started going to Mexico for Targa Baja. What happens is the federales kind of go, have at it, and we run flat out for a few days through the deserts and the mountains in Baja, and then party every night in between. But there's this one-upmanship that goes on, so you go like, ah, man, I can't stand being passed by that guy. It's not gonna happen again. Comes time, like, Baja's coming up, let's rebuild that motor. This is the car that should have been here, but it broke.
What happened?
I built a huge turbo motor for it. 2 years in a row, turbos didn't make it. Last year, a friend of mine, his car bit the dust on the first day. This year, another couple gentlemen had their 930 explode on the first day. And yeah, it was sort of a relief going like, kind of glad I didn't bring mine before it was completely sorted out. But, it all works out. Did you really leave that in TJ?
I have something called blowback. I don't really know what that means.
I love the running joke of when I bought my first car. Oh, midlife crisis. Oh, you bought it to get girls. I'm like, no, because no. You're gonna make me look like Porsche asshole, that's me.
You signed away from it.
That guy's a dick.
Release is good. What do you